Welcome to Rowan College of South Jersey for some Saturday morning, afternoon Region 19 basketball between the Luzerne County Trailblazers and the Rowan College of South Jersey Roadrunners here in Deptford, New Jersey. I'm Dan Wilkins. I'm joined by Nolan Dowell on the call this afternoon. Nolan, this is going to be a good game between two teams that duked it out to a three-point finish last year. And, of course, Luzerne hasn't played a Region 19 game yet. They played SUNY Broome, and they played Williamson College of the Trade, splitting those two games and going 1-1. But this is going to be an interesting matchup between two teams that aren't too familiar with each other.
And it is. Like you said, last year they had a three-point game. 68-65 was the final in that one, with RCSJ taking away the win. And today, I mean, you have Luzerne coming into RCSJ in the midst of a four-game road trip to start their season, the first of some Region 19 action for them. It's going to be a good one.
RCSJ's 1-3, but they've definitely had some good matchups this year. They took Camden County to overtime. Camden County's 4-0. They're one of the top teams along with Salem and Union this year. They're looking pretty good, but they're looking for their second win of the year after taking down Sussex County. I got to watch is Ace Lassiter. He was top 5 in Region 19 in steals per game last year and is one of the returning sophomores on this team along with guys like Amara Sacco and Aiden Cranmer. But for RCSJ, their big thing will be defending the three-point. Luzerne was 7th in Region 19 this year so far in three-point percentage. They're 39.1 from beyond the arc. That'll be something they'll have to watch.
Yeah, my guys to watch is going to be Amari Ellis, who is leading the Trailblazers in scoring this season with 14 points a game. And for a team that's shooting so well, he's shooting 33% from three. So it's going to be a shootout. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Shootout. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it was 86-76 when RCSJ fell to Camden County in overtime last Saturday. But the Roadrunners are back home. We'll take a quick break. It's the Roadrunners of RCSJ and the Trailblazers of Luzerne County coming up right after this.
For the Trailblazers, freshman, number 0, Sakai Richards. Freshman, number 2, Amari Ellis. Freshman, number 4, Jacob Patterson. Sophomore, number 5, McKean Morgan. Freshman, number 22,
Those are your starting lineups for the afternoon presented by Harper Driving School. We're ready to go. It's Luzerne County and RCSJ. RCSJ on the left in their white home jerseys, blue and gold accents. The Trailblazers on the right in their road navy blue and kind of sea green, almost Seattle Mariner green accents with white numbers. RCSJ led by first-year head coach John Bird, the former assistant at Goldie Beacom, and also the former assistant under Brandon Williams. Luzerne County led by Ron Strothers. The tip is up, and on this chilly Saturday afternoon, we're underway here in Deptford Township. Luzerne with first possession. Guarded by Kingsway's Desir Williams Bay. Trailblazers coming into this game 1-2. Now into the near corner, moving out. 12 to shoot, top of the key, 3 off the mark. And this will be rebounded by Luzerne. It was tipped by Zaire Green. And now it's out on the far corner as they'll try to get this one back in order for Jacob Patterson. Patterson guarded by Green. He took the first shot, corner 3 with 7 to shoot, no good. Tipped up and brought in by Ace Lassiter of Lenape. Roadrunners with their first possession after 2 missed three-point shots, and that's one thing that we mentioned was going to be important during this game, was the fact that Luzerne is 7th in Region 19 in three-point shooting percentage, 39.1% going into today's game, a full point percentage better than 8th Bergen. Basket good by Mac Morgan, the first of the day for the Trailblazers. And the visitors lead this one 2-0. Took us 1:20 for our first score here in Deptford Township. Off the hand of Lassiter on the right wing on top of the Roadrunner logo. Cranmer was open, takes it himself, back out, corner, Green for 3. Off the mark, rebounded by Patterson. Patterson backpedals and he'll bring this one back up the floor. Patterson, bounce pass to number 0, Shakai Richards, the freshman. Playing a little bully ball, moving inside. In the lane, right hand, floater, and in. 4-0 run for the Trailblazers with the basket by Jaden Johnson.
The offense was a little stagnant there for the Trailblazers. We saw in their first 2 possessions a lot of backdoor cuts, but right there we had Jaden Johnson taking that in and lighting it up himself.
Out of bounds. Luzerne's going to take this one. Actually, it looks like Green will inbound this one with just 2 minutes gone in the first half. Just 2 baskets in 2 minutes. For a Roadrunner team that's 1-3, their one win came over a winless Sussex County back last Thursday. Dancing towards the center line, Williams Bay. On the right wing, back to the center of the key for Zaire Green. Looks like they're getting ready to sub in number 22, Jerome Clough, as with 2 to shoot. Can't get anything on that one. Ripping it away is Johnson. And the rebound by Luzerne. RCSJ now playing very close distance defense here, but Luzerne, that's going to be an offensive foul against number 0, Shakai Richards. That's our first foul of the night. We're talking about three-point percentage, and Luzerne certainly excels. Essex, which is not Division III, they lead all of Region 19 with 43.4. Union with 42.9. They're 4-0 this year. Delaware Tech, which RCSJ played and lost by 38 in the opening night. They're up in that bracket as well. Raritan Valley, Harrisburg, and then Camden, also undefeated in Division III, and Luzerne in 7th.
And you just mentioned how RCSJ is 1-3 on the year. I talked about before the game how Luzerne is in the midst of their 4-game road trip to open the season. Well, RCSJ, this is their 4th home game.
Exactly.
So, I mean, this is an important game for them, not because they're 1-3 and need to get a win here, but, you know, they don't have that many extra road games compared to home games compared to away games. So it's going to be a needed win.
Ball got swiped away a couple times there, finding him in the near corner. Now moving in. Spot up shot is good for number 2, Amari Ellis. You're mentioning Ellis as your player to watch, 14 points per game going into this, and the Trailblazers are on a 6-0 run.
And we saw that nice little move from Ellis right there, a little one-legged step-back shot, gets it to go.
Really tough defense here. Spotting up from the corner or I should say from the corner of the box. Jerome Clough comes up empty. And Trailblazers bringing it back up the floor here. Lobbing it into the inside. Double guarded and a foul against Clough. And he'll go to the charity stripe. We'll have our first shots from the foul line for the first time today. It's the first foul against RCSJ. As we mentioned, it was a 3-point game last year, but Luzerne is one of those programs that has to travel the farthest, whether it's RCSJ or whether it's any program in Region 19. They're 2 hours and 22 minutes away from this campus if you just put it into a GPS, and they're 111 miles away if you want to equate it in that manner. But it's almost fascinating. You know, we talk about, especially with my baseball coverage, we do a lot of Region 19 games or even a lot of Region 15 games in New York, a lot of Region 20 games in Maryland and whatnot. As a first shot, it's good. And one of the things that pops up a lot is the travel, because in JUCO basketball and in JUCO athletics, you've got to travel more than you do if you're in a high school program. You know, Nolan, you went to Pennsville. There were about 6 high schools that you could visit in 15 minutes.
Yep.
There's not 6 community colleges. The closest ones to us are Camden County, even Salem County, and RCSJ Cumberland. Trailblazers 1 for 2 from the stripe. It's 7-0. I'll tell you this, the women's team on Thursday when they beat Northampton, they were down 9-0. Northampton had a big run to start the game, but then the Roadrunners clawed back, won the game by 12. Nice little feed pass for 3. Good! Roadrunners with their first points of the night. It's a triple from the top of the key for Ace Lassiter of Philadelphia. And RCSJ leads us 1-7-3. Cranmer guarding one-on-one with Amari Ellis. A nice little step back there. Had an open look, turned it around. Now another look. Ellis for 3, off the mark. Now moving into the near corner. Williams Bay able to save it. He did that so well with the Kingsway Dragons in high school. Now moving out to Cranmer. Corner 3, no. Shakai Richards with the rebound.
And so far it's been good shot selection from the Roadrunners. The ball's just not falling in the net.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big struggles, as this is going to be a 3-on-1 fast break, but he found the one man to guard him. That's no good on double chances there. Luzerne gave the Roadrunners a gift, and they didn't take it, and there's a slam. Timeout, John Bird, as a 9-3 run for Luzerne County ends in a timeout 5 minutes into this one. But that run gets capped off by a slam by the freshman. They were doing it a lot prior to the layup lines. Shakai Richards comes down with this one, and on the fast break, he lets it fly. We'll be right back. Back here from RCSJ, this broadcast is brought to you by DAWG Professional Wrestling, New Jersey's premier pro wrestling organization with high-flying events and nonstop entertainment throughout the Garden State. You can book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event, whether it's a corporate outing, birthday event, anything in between, by visiting DAWGProWrestling.com. Back underway here in Deptford Township after John Bird called a 30-second timeout. Desir Williams Bay moving in, right hand, too long. Rebounded by the Trailblazers, and now here comes a fast break. Johnson's going to try it again. Hello and goodbye. Shakir Richards lets another one slam, and it's an 8-point lead for Luzerne County. It's 11-3.
And Shakai Richards has had a great last minute of this game. I mean, we saw the 3-on-1 defense from him that turned into a transition dunk, followed up by another transition dunk. I mean, so far, a great job by Richards.
4 points for the freshman as that one goes off the glass. Got blocked that time, and we'll have a foul. 2 new subs coming in. Hajir Davis of Charlotte, North Carolina coming in for the Roadrunners, and then number 20 being Kasir Baker, checking back into the game after a brief absence on the bench. Also checking in, looks like number 3, Chris Johnson, coming in for Amari Ellis. Guarded heavily by Lassiter. He was top 5 in Region 19 last year in steals per game, so that's his specialty. Corner 3, Richards off the mark. Rebound by Baker, the new substitution. Hajir Davis, the point guard. comes in with this one. He'll set the offense. The graduate of Winslow Township in Atco. Here comes a scramble right on top of center court. Jump ball. Arrow's going to go in favor of the Roadrunners.
And look who it wasn't on the play there. Shakai Richards all over the court so far in this first half.
Absolutely. He has been fantastic. As Shakai Richards, again, 2 dunks in transition in this first juncture of the first half. Baker backpedaling on the corner. Davis, high pass. They're going to say Roadrunner ball. Richards saying that he didn't touch it. Referees say otherwise, and this will be brought in by Zaire Green.
Have to get a shot off quick, though. Only 6 seconds on the shot clock.
Williams Bay keeping an eye on the clock. It's Green. They've got 2 to shoot. They're not keeping an eye. Here comes Hajir Davis off the mark. It'll be a scramble. Luzerne wanted a jump ball. That's kind of an odd situation because since it hit the rim, it reset the shot clock, and then it just kind of scrambled over into the corner, but the Roadrunners will retain possession. Moving in. Oh, rattled in and out that time for Lassiter. Rebounded by number 13, that being John Mateo. Over to Richards. Ball got scrambled away. It's tipped. Coming in. They're going to call a foul on Davis on the dive.
And what I'm looking for in this game from the Roadrunners is the turnover differential. So far this season, they have a +3 turnover differential, while the Trailblazers are -9 in the 2 games that they've played. So, I mean, so far we haven't seen many, but I think the Roadrunners are going to pick it up here.
That'll go out of bounds on the near side. Coming in, number 12, Brian Glover. Roadrunners again, 1 win versus Sussex. They lost by 38 on opening night to Delaware Tech. This was the first game in John Bird's tenure as head coach. Again, a former assistant at Goldie Beacom before joining the Roadrunners staff. Is Richards for 3. That's good. He's up to 7 points. Shakir Richards makes this 14-3, an 11-point lead, and a fantastic opening run for the visitors of Luzerne County, who, if you're going to make the trip down to Deptford Township, you might as well make it a worthwhile trip, as Baker comes in, fires it to Williams Bay. High pass. Lassiter in the lane. Going to call foul here. Foul against Glover.
It'll be on the floor, too, so the shot will not count for Lassiter.
Zaire Green will bring this one in. Rolling over to the top of the key, Baker over to Lassiter, quick moves with the left hand, double coverage up over the top. Refs didn't blow the whistle. That looked like that rolled along the top of the backboard, and a collapse on the bench. He actually ran over one of his players on the bench there. You can see going down was number 23, Jaden Austin. Hopefully he's all right. I mean, reminds you that one time when Shaq was on the Suns and it was a ball coming his way and everybody just got up and out of the way.
Yeah, and he ran into teammate Tyler Collins on the bench, so hopefully they're both good.
Rebound, foul on the Roadrunners. Might be an over-to-back foul. 12:02 to play in the first.
I mean, and the Roadrunners shoot 37% from the field, and right now it feels like they're shooting about 10. So not the ideal start for RCSJ, offensively or defensively.
Not to mention, as we said, Luzerne 7th in the region in three-point percentage. The Roadrunners 19th of 22, and there's another one. Jaden Austin gets a 3. And it's 17-3. Luzerne County all the way up near Scranton, Pennsylvania. They've made the trip. They're going to make it worth it. Moving in, Lassiter lets it go. Davis in the lane, right hand, bit of a flailing shot, and it's good.
And that was some good ball movement there from the Roadrunners. You
Absolutely.
go from the corner up to the top, down to the middle, and it works.
Well, that's Hajir Davis for you. He's an Olympic Conference hooper, came out of Winslow, is now a top of the key three, no good. Rebound by Baker. But the important thing is when you're the Roadrunners, when you're talking about how you can move the ball, like that's a great movement right there. Davis to Baker. Hajir Davis comes out of the Olympic Conference, and if you've ever seen teams like Cherokee, Bishop Eustis, and Luzerne County is going to call a timeout with 10:50 to play in the first half. We'll just stay right here because this is Luzeurne's first of the day, and it'll be a 30-second anyway. But what I was mentioning was that when you talk about Olympic Conference in New Jersey, obviously our Pennsylvania friends watching from Luzerne might not be all that familiar, but go and watch an Olympic Conference game, and you're going to see low-scoring affairs. And the ball movement that you have matters so much. When you're a guy like Hajir Davis, who comes from Winslow, he's an ATCO guy, you're going to have to do that, and that will translate to this level. Like Aiden Cranmer, he's a Colonial Conference guy. Colonial Conference has a lot of good three-point shooters. I remember, watching Collingswood, and there was like Tomas Money and Audubon's Liam Nixon and the rest of them. And then Desir Williams Bay, he's a Tri-County Royal guy. There's a different style of play, just like how, I don't know how you would equate it in college basketball, but some different conferences have some different styles of play. There's some things that are incentivized more than others, and in the case of New Jersey high school hoops, really isn't all that different, and it applies to the college level as well. Roadrunners running a half-court press. Richards inside. Looks like he got fouled, but it wasn't called. Now the foul gets called. It will get charged. It's actually going to get charged against Luzerne. Both teams with 3 fouls here in the first half.
Yeah, we saw a good block there from Kassir Baker, and then seems like, Luzerne got a foul there. So, Roadrunners have a nice little 4-0 run going right now. Maybe they can keep it up.
Well, they're still down by 10, so they've got work to do, but it's a step in the right direction. Williams Bay is going to get called for a travel. Just kind of a desperation shot right there. He kind of turned his back to the hoop and couldn't find anything to fall, and it ends up costing him right there. 10:22 to play in the first half. Heaved up the floor towards the scorer's table. Now moving in, Richards back out, open three, no good. Over to Davis. The point guard picking up the rebound. Now over to the left side, Williams Bay working quickly. Right hand, Baker.
And now we're seeing full court press from the Roadrunners, which, this is how they force their turnovers. Right there, we saw the little slap out of bounds. You get a little closer to that, and that's a steal going the other way. So the Roadrunners now putting the pressure on Luzerne. And, I've talked about it. The turnover differential for RCSJ has been great so far this season.
Absolutely. Even though it's 17-9 right now, they're showing their stride a little bit right now on this possession, but that's going to be an open three. Surprised he didn't take that one. That was a no-look pass out to the near corner, and now from the corner of the box, front iron for Richards. He leads both teams in scoring with 7. Right side, moving in. He's fouled on his way up, and taking a hard hit to the floor is Zaire Green. Foul will get called against Ellis. Or check that, Chris Johnson. That's already his second so far, coming off the bench. So here's Zaire Green. When it was a 11-point game, obviously it was more than that, but it was 17-3 at one point. 6-0 run for the Roadrunners. That shot rattles out. 2 subs. Actually, no, it looks like just, 2 subs for the Trailblazers. Coming in number 2, Amari Ellis, and number 13, John Mateo. Desir Williams Bay checks out. Coming in is number 23, Sidney Maynard III. Green, good. Green with 5 points. 9:25. Now double digits on both sides. Ball got tipped up by Maynard. Shots off the glass, and another rebound by Davis. Resiliency there for the Roadrunners as they try to move back in and try to get into possession. They're just trying to get some semblance of what this team is right now. And, this is a tough team that plays a lot of small ball. As now Maynard has an open look for 3. Good! Sidney Maynard with a 3-point triple, and it's a 4-point game. You blink and you miss it.
And RCSJ right now is running a 2-2-1 full court press, but Luzerne's having great success against it so far. As I said, there's a travel. But, Luzerne's been really good against the press so far. They've just missed those open shots that they've had down in the paint. You know, one of them was blocked, but good job so far by RCSJ to stay competent on defense, even though you're getting beat through the press.
17-13. Little stutter step that time. Rolling over, now it's one-on-one. He sets up a screen, and he kind of gave himself up for a foul there to try to run against the fast break. It'll be a blocking foul.
Now, this has been a physical game so far. These two teams are really going shoulder first into each other, it feels like, on almost every drive they have.
Yeah. And again, in JUCO, I think everybody knows there's not really much rivalries. The only thing that there would be maybe was Bergen versus Essex, Camden versus RCSJ-Gloucester, maybe Gloucester and Cumberland, Salem and Cumberland maybe some of the North Jersey teams or even some of the PA teams. But this, even though these guys are in the same region, these guys don't know each other that well. You know, when we cover high school basketball, one of our first games, I can't spoil what it is, but it's going to be two teams that are like 15 minutes apart from each other. And I'm going to say probably at one point is, well, these two probably knew each other or probably played travel hoops growing up. These two don't have those relations. They don't have that connection. Davis at the line for two. He banks in the first one. Davis.
Checking back in for the Roadrunners is Desir Williams-Bay, who is going to help with this full court press. He's averaging 3.3 steals per game. I mean, they've already played. This is their 5th game now, and we've seen so far a lot of opportunities for the Roadrunners to get some steals. They just haven't been able to get the ball into their hands. It's been tipped off lots.
Full court press seems to be working. It's now a 2-point game as that shot is blocked off the mark as the Trailblazers trying to give the Roadrunners a piece of their own medicine. Here comes Williams-Bay. Luzerne wanted an offensive foul. That ball's going to get away. Luzerne is going to save it, throw in, good. How about that? A fantastic possession in transition for Brian Glover. He's got his first points of the night, and a scramble by Luzerne brings their lead back to 4.
Yeah, what a
weird possession.
What a sequence from both teams. We saw the Trailblazers beat the press again and then take a shot that got blocked. Roadrunners go the other way, lose possession after a missed layup, and then it comes right back. I mean, this is just back and forth, and we saw on the Roadrunners possession, Trailblazers tried to draw a charge, didn't get the whistle, and now they'll take a 3.
Good. That one comes in, and Brian Glover responsible for the last 5 points on Luzerne's offense, 22-17. For what it's worth, a relatively low-scoring first half. Even though this has been back and forth, there's really been a lot of possessions that just didn't work out. Here's another 3 off the glass. Rebound by none other than Glover. He's stealing the show for the Trailblazers this afternoon. It's coming in. Luzerne makes Williams-Bay miss. Moves out. Near corner. Bobbles it. Davis comes in. Euro step. Went all over the place except for the basket. Rebound by Baker. Here comes Sidney Maynard. Davis in the corner. And a bench and another shot as Kasir Baker finishes the deal with his 4th point of the night. But Hajir Davis, 8 points off the bench. Just really, really good stuff so far. And a lot better. It's a far cry from Luzerne's 14-point lead that they had just a few minutes ago. Here comes another breakaway. Off the glass and in. Zaire Green, 7 points. It's a 1-point game, and the Roadrunners are in striking distance. You could argue they've been in striking distance for a while, but now this is the closest they've gotten since the tip of the ball at 1 o'clock this afternoon.
I mean, down 17-3, and now you fought back. You're on an 18-5 run. Really good job by the Roadrunners, not just offensively but defensively, to stay in this game.
3-point from the top from Amari Ellis. He's up to 6 points. It's 7, 6, and 5. Richards with 7, Ellis with 6, Glover with 5. Davis leads the Roadrunners with 8. 3-second violation. 25-21. 5:31 to play. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. Book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road. tripping and falling over there. Everything's going all over the place. Here comes Williams Bay, and it does a victory lap. It's in 25-23. Desir Williams Bay, the freshman who led Kingsway to a 20-win season under their coaching staff in 2024, had a great playoff run and won the Tri-County Flight A tournament in conference play last year. Spinning around that time, back over to Ellis, guarded by Lassiter. Davis guarding inside, left hand, hard shot off the glass. It's a foul. Roadrunners got a little bit too handsy on the way up.
Yeah, and Kassir Baker's done a great job inside the paint so far this game, but that time got a little too aggressive, tried to swat the ball away, ended up getting the Trailblazers.
5 fouls on each side with 5 minutes to play. 25-23, Luzerne County. We've got a light week on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting next week as that first shot goes out. On Tuesday, tune in for the first episode of the South Jersey Starting Nine, a new baseball podcast regarding South Jersey high school baseball, featuring myself and former Seneca player David Cohen. That will be recorded at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, Tuesday is the 18th. And then on Thursday, we're back home at RCSJ for a doubleheader of women and men's basketball between the Ocean County Vikings, a little bit closer to home for Ocean, and the RCSJ-Gloucester Roadrunners. Women tip off at 5, the men tip off at 7. Approximately 7, depending on how long that women's game takes. 26-23. Patterson went 1 for 2 from the line. Those were his 3rd points of the game. Hebes de Jesus is in. That one strips away as de Jesus went to the floor. Passed up, now going up is number 5, Mac Morgan, after the pass from Melvin Egbedo. Morgan over to Patterson, near corner for Egbedo. Stepped back inside the line, moving in, right hand, flailing shot is in, and Patterson grabs another bucket. One thing I'm noticing is for Luzerne, there's individual players that are just going on really nice hot streaks in this game. You know, this player will get 4 or 5 points in a row as a block from Maynard's shot. De Jesus with a struggle. They come in, and Beto goes to the floor. It's a jump ball. Arrow's going to go to Luzerne.
And yeah, as you were saying, we saw Shakai Richards earlier in this game have a little hot stretch. Brian Glover did it. And now on the floor for them is Jacob Patterson, who's kind of taken over this past couple minutes stretch.
Yeah, I mean, Glover had a good stretch. Patterson's having a good stretch. A lot of players are just doing their individual duties and then kind of going dormant for a little while. As here is Mac Morgan, one of the original 5 starters without a point tonight. I mean, only of the 5 starters on either side did not have a point.
We were talking about the individual stretches, and that's something you'll see with man-to-man defense. I mean, you get the ISO matchup one-on-one, and sometimes you get in a spot where you can kind of expose your guy a little bit.
Ooh, Davis got blocked hard by Patterson. Here we go. Moving in. Slam! And it calls a timeout as John Bird calls his 2nd of the day. Luzerne was looking like that they were in a rough patch, but they found a way out of it as it's Luzerne 30 and RCSJ 23. The Roadrunners have not led in this first half. They've gotten as close as 1 point, but that's all we've written so far. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back in just a moment right after this. here from RCSJ. John Bird called a timeout. Inbound by Desir Williams-Bay. 3 minutes to play, just over 3 minutes to play in the first half. Really tough defense on both sides. Very physical game. That is going to be an
up and down.
Yeah, up and down there against Hajir Davis.
Hajir Davis he was getting heavily pressed at the half-court line. That's what the Trailblazers are doing so far. They're having one, like we're seeing right now, one-man full-court press. It's man-to-man defense. You have the one-man full-court pressing the ball carrier. And, I mean, so far, looks like the Roadrunners have switched up their defense a little bit too here.
Yeah, not as aggressive. I mean, they were doing some in the world of full-court presses. But that's also not a defense that you can sustain for an entire game.
No, it is not.
It wears out the defense, but also wears out your players as well. Here comes Maynard for a three. No good.
Well, and you talk about it wearing out the players. The Roadrunners have switched out the guy that's full-court pressing so far. I mean, we've seen Hajir Davis on the full-court press. We've seen Desir Williams-Bay on the full-court press, and we've seen Sidney Maynard on the full-court press.
Right.
So, I mean, that's what you can do. You can rotate them all out. But right now, all three of them are in the game, so who's going to get the breath right now?
Yeah, I mean, here we go, near quarter three, air ball. Well, Nolan, you're a Pennsville guy. You got to play or got to experience Clayton basketball at some point. It's Aiden Cranmer with a nice shot under the basket. That's his first points of the night. The thing about Clayton basketball, if you know Frank Rago, if you know anything about South Jersey hoops, you know Clayton. It's the system. It's the run and gun. It's I think it's Grinnell College that originated it. Here comes a lob. RCSJ comes in. Oh, that's a hard hit. Oh, that's rough. He's going to be slow to get up. That lob got interjected, and he basically took the guy on his back. And now got to imagine, I mean, he's moving a little bit slower. He's able to get up, but got to imagine he's shaking up a little bit.
Jacob Patterson, he took a nice leap there for the lob, came down, and it kind of looked like he might have hit the back of his head a little bit. But, I mean, right now he looks good, so that's good to see.
He's staying in the game, even if he needs to be evaluated at the half. Johnson lays that one in. He's got 9 points. I mean, if you told me at the end of the first half that this will be a 5-point game, I don't know how much I'd believe you, because the Roadrunners right now are looking a lot better than they did at the start of the game. Top of the key, three, fouled and one! We got a chance for a 4-point play, Ace Lassiter.
Fantastic shot from Lassiter there.
And it looked like he kind of leaned into it a little bit. Yeah. He tried to draw it, and he was able to get it successfully.
It's still tough to make a three-pointer in contact, though. I mean, making threes I mean, there's a reason no one shoots more than 50% from the three-point land in the NBA.
Right.
And, I mean, with contact, it's even harder to make the shot. So, great shot there from Lassiter.
34-33. He's got the 4-point play. And the Roadrunners trail by 1 minute to play. Lassiter up to 7 points. Davis leads the Roadrunners with 10. There's a steal.
Slipped right through Johnson's hands.
What a turnaround this would be if the Roadrunners could lead at the half. Coming in, Davis. Amara Sacco got blocked. Jerome Clough got blocked.
And
now Lassiter again. Another one.
We were talking
about the ace of spades in Deptford Township. 7 points in 30 seconds for the Roadrunners, and they lead for the first time today.
Talking about those player hot streaks, well, what about Ace Lassiter? I mean, he just went on a hot streak that might top them all. A 4-point play followed by a 3 to take the lead with the time in the half winding down.
Last shot for the shot clock, 3-second separation coming in. That's Johnson. It misses. They've got 5 seconds. Here comes Ace Lassiter. Desir Williams-Bay on the right hand, and it lays in. What a way to end the half. Desir Williams-Bay caps off a huge run, and the Roadrunners, after being down by 14, come back for a 4-point lead at half. Talk about a turnaround. Oh, my goodness. The first 20 minutes were a roller coaster as they go into the locker room.
I mean, fantastic job from RCSJ to fight back. Because, you know, sometimes when you go down early in games, it kind of like beats up on your mind and you get in a little slump. But the Roadrunners did the exact opposite of that, and they fought back. I mean, 17-3 is a tough deficit.
Absolutely.
Especially in basketball and early in the game, too. I mean, great job. It felt like early in the game they weren't able to hit anything.
Yeah.
And now they're up 4 going into halftime.
Can't believe it. 38-34. We'll take a break. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for the second half of action here in RCSJ-Gloucester.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well. The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside. It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need. And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives. If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
Book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event or outing for the greatest action that New Jersey Pro Wrestling has to offer. Any place, any time, any setting, Dog Pro Wrestling will bring the action to you, and you won't want to miss it for moments like this. But don't just take it from me. Take it from Max Mundo, the Dog Pro Wrestling ambassador.
This is Max Mundo with Dog Pro Wrestling. Are you a civic organization, sporting club looking to fundraise? Then look no further to Dog Pro Wrestling. We do grand openings, corporate events, and much more.
And why not from some of the wrestling talent themselves?
I'm Vinny the Fixer, and I'm the champion of Dog Professional Wrestling. If you want to book the best, come see us. We're the cream of the crop. We'll come to any fundraiser you can think of. Just name the place and we'll show up.
This is the upstanding Dylan Mesh, and for the entirety of my professional wrestling career, dog wrestling has been a mainstay for where I like to wrestle. So you can believe me when I say that it is quality. And I'm upstanding. I'm the only opinion you need.
Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder here with my man Matthew Oman, and if you want your events to be all fight, no flight,
then book Dog Wrestling so you can witness true primal fear. Woo!
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Welcome back. At halftime, it's 38-34. Luzerne County was up by 17 points at one point, and the Roadrunners came back to lead by 4 at the half. Just really a fantastic thing that the Roadrunners have come back, but Luzerne County, they're not out of the woods yet, and I should say the Roadrunners are not out of the woods yet either. This has been a tough game defensively, and Nolan, one of the things that we focused on is the full court pressing on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it from both teams, more from the Roadrunners than Luzerne, but, I mean, its presence has definitely been known. We've seen a lot of tipped passes out of bounds from both teams. A lot of, I wouldn't call it sloppy play. I call it more good defense. I mean, they're forcing pressure on to either team's offense, and it's kind of forcing bad passes or bad decisions, which results in turnovers and then points for either team.
Yeah, and right now, one of the things that the Roadrunners should, I think, do more is I don't think their three-point shooting is that bad tonight. They should counter Luzerne, who is shooting a lot more from three. They're shooting a lot more successfully from three, and counter it with their own. Luzerne is 7th in the region, as we mentioned several times tonight, in Region 19, shooting with a 39.1% range. So you can't get much better than that. And Luzerne right now, they're playing their first Region 19 game of the year. This is their first taste of JUCO basketball for a lot of these players. Otherwise, they've played, one of the SUNY Broome schools. They played Williams College of Trades. The Roadrunners should take advantage of that. They should take advantage of the fact that they have played more games and they have played tougher opponents so far this year. But otherwise, good first half so far.
I think kind of an unsung hero so far in this game has been Kassir Baker and his paint defense. I mean, we've seen Luzerne have a lot of opportunity. They've broken the full court press a couple times, and they get down to the paint, and who's there? Kassir Baker. And he swats it away, or he forces a bad shot, and that has been a big part of why the Roadrunners are up right now.
Well, that will be the end of our halftime report. We're going to take a quick break, flip this camera back around for 20 more minutes in half number 2. Second half ready to go here from Rowan College of South Jersey. I'm Dan Wilkins. I'm joined by Nolan Dowell, my good friend from Rowan University, joining us tonight at the Sports Cam program. And the first possession of the second half is in the Roadrunners. Zaire Green with the ball. It is Cranmer towards the semicircle along the foul line. It's no good. Second chance blocked by Jaden Johnson. On the floor for the Roadrunners, Green, Cranmer, Baker, Williams, Bay, and Lassiter, all 5 original starters.
And what did we see coming out of the half? Press. I mean, that's what the teams are going to do. I'd assume the rest of the game they're going to both full court press. So we'll see more of that.
I think that's going to happen until they get worn out. The Roadrunners lead by 6 as that one gets drained by Baker.
I will say, though, we're seeing more of, as of right now, a soft press from the Roadrunners. They're not picking up full court. It's more half court.
Fouled on the way up. Zaire Green's, Kassir Baker's going to get called. First foul of the half. One of the things I noticed, neither team got above the bonus in the first half. And I was a little bit surprised by that because it's not rare, but it's every day when you call a JUCO basketball game or even a NCAA game, you'll see pretty commonly teams at least getting to the 1-and-1 threshold. We're not talking about the double bonus, but at least to the 1-and-1. So in that situation, neither team got above 5 fouls in what was a relatively clean half.
Well, and it felt like the refs were kind of like soft with the whistles. They wanted to see these guys play.
Whistles, yeah.
I mean, they were letting these teams go up against each other, and I think partially that comes from the full court press, and you see the aggressiveness of both teams full court. I mean, you got to let them play if they're going to be aggressive all the way down the court. You got to let it keep going.
It's kind of setting a new standard as here comes a corner 3, rolls in and out. Rebound by Johnson. Johnson at 10 points tonight. Glover on the floor for the Trailblazers, right? Or rather, it's, I apologize, it's Morgan, Mac Morgan. Morgan gets an open lane, shoots through 2, gets blocked. Here comes Williams Bay breaking away. Might have taken an extra gather, but it's good. Williams Bay up to 8 points, and the Roadrunners lead by 7.
And on offense for Luzerne there, that was a great move by Mac Morgan to get through the 2 defenders around him. But Ace Lasser was right there to counter that with a beautiful swat.
Foul gets called against the Roadrunners. On the floor, Mac Morgan Looks like Jaden Johnson, Kasai Richards, Patterson, and Ellis. So both teams rolling out their starting fives for the start of the second half, with the Roadrunners up by a touchdown, if you will, over Luzerne County. And that leads me into saying we've got our Thanksgiving coverage coming up in a couple weeks. Pittman and Clayton in the 100th annual battle in Gloucester County at Haupt Field in Clayton, home of the Clippers, November 27th, 10:30 a.m. the start time. Patterson loses the ball, shovels it forward. He had 5 to shoot, and it's out of bounds. Is Luzerne going to keep this one? They will.
Yeah,
okay, so
it was tipped out.
I couldn't tell from where our angle was. So Mac Morgan's going to get this one under the basket with 5 seconds to shoot. Haven't seen too many of these close calls tonight. Johnson inside. He goes back to Morgan, turns around with 2 to shoot, and he's got it. Mac Morgan, the last starter for Luzerne without a point tonight, gets his contribution in the bank, and it's 42-37. 5-point lead for the Roadrunners. They led by 4 at half, but as we mentioned time and time again, they were down by 14. Here comes Morgan again. Davis goes in for a swipe block. He gets fouled. I didn't know if Davis hit him. I thought it might have missed him.
It looked a little clean there. I mean, either way, Luzerne gets a basket.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the putback right there or the foul, and, I mean, now you got to work for your points.
That'll be the 3rd foul against the Roadrunners. Still none against Luzerne. And Mac Morgan, who had no points in the first half, now looking to get a couple more. And this is his first shot, front iron.
I mean, you talked about how the first half there was no bonus action. So
Right.
far, we've got 3 fouls already
We've got
on RCSJ.
three fouls in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. We're going to be racing towards that mark.
Yeah.
Morgan 1 for 2.
They took that as a challenge.
They took it as an incentive. We're going to get fouled more than you can ever imagine. Here's Hashir Davis, double guarded at midcourt. Luzerne handing the Roadrunners a taste of their own medicine. Davis backpedals to the volleyball line. Over to
soft
Davis.
man coverage on Kasir Baker when he's out on the 3-point line. I mean, because he's not a guy to shoot the deep ball, but you cannot let him get into the paint and lay it up.
Baker got hit, loses it. Morgan loses his balance, now moves in. Luzerne with a good shot. It's off the mark. Second chance, good, and foul, and 1. Patterson emerges with a chance for a 3-point play.
And a great transition there from Luzerne. Mac Morgan with the strip of Kasir Baker in the paint, leading to a little transition offense, back and forth. A missed shot from Jacob Patterson, who earlier in the first half had a hard fall. It's good to see he's back out there, but now he's headed to the line for the and 1 shot.
Does not get the and 1. Jerome Clough gets the rebound. It's over to Lassiter. Pump fakes. Now it's up. Step back and good. Ace Lassiter was the hero at the end of the first half. He now leads both teams in scoring. He's got 12. And that's 44-40.
That was a fantastic step-back mid-range jump shot from Ace Lassiter on Luzerne's biggest defender in Jaden Johnson, who lays it up on his own right there. I mean, that's a tough shot to make, especially over a guy that's much bigger than you.
Cranmer goes in. He circles around the West Deptford product back to Davis at the corner of the volleyball line. Moves with the right foot, now moves in from the free throw line. Top of the key, 3, front iron. Clough missed that time. Back over to Mac Morgan. Morgan crosses over. He's at the free throw semicircle. Moving over, far corner, 3. That one's off the side. Offensive rebound, spinning around. That's an air ball. Luzerne says there was contact. Refs say no. Here's Davis. Davis gets hit. Williams Bay, 3. That one's off the mark, and the Roadrunners want a foul. They swallow the whistle, but they can only do so for so long as contact going up sends RCSJ to the line.
And like you said, the refs being a little iffy with the whistles. They don't want to blow it all the time. I mean, or else we're going to have 35 fouls in this game. Right now, only 5 in the second half, which is still a lot more than the first half. And RCSJ heads to the line.
It's setting the precedent, if you will. You know, it's setting the notion that
they can be aggressive.
They can be aggressive, but only to a point.
Yeah.
You know, if these two teams were not running a press, if these two teams were playing pretty stagnant offenses, I'm sure that the standard for what a foul is and what a shooting foul is, or, you know, any kind of reach-in foul would probably be adjusted a little bit. Checking into the ball game after the foul shots, Clough comes out. Coming in is Hebes de Jesus. So right now it's the four original, actually no, Davis, not an original starter. It's Davis, de Jesus, Cranmer, Lassiter, and Williams Bay on the floor for the Roadrunners. I mean, the thing about the Roadrunners, it was talked about in the beginning of the season, as this will be a steal by de Jesus. Here comes Cranmer rolling up. Davis got an open man in the corner. Williams Bay takes his time, and a three! Williams Bay sitting on the dock of the bay for a corner three, and it's a 6-point game, 48-42.
And now we see RCSJ taking off the full court press, and they've switched to kind of a, I guess you could call it a man zone defense.
Right,
Where they're all on a string. Everyone's on a string. You're following the ball. You're following the ball. And Luzerne on their last possession did a good job of getting the ball into the middle. It was just stripped away, and RCSJ capitalized with a big three.
Patterson now over into the near corner. It's Richards, now a three.
Some great ball movement.
Glover couldn't get there. Now here comes Williams Bay again. He's got another open look. Oh, wow. Got slapped off the glass that time. Now it's back to Cranmer, top of the key. Three! Aiden Cranmer knocks it down.
I mean, I think RCSJ's happy with that right there. Williams Bay gets his layup taken off the glass, but it goes right out to Aiden Cranmer, who drains the three, and now it's a 9-point RCSJ lead.
A huge turnaround for the Roadrunners. We'll take a quick break. 51-42 right after this. 14:59 in the second half. Sorry, I didn't adjust that. Luzerne County coming back from a timeout. This broadcast is brought to you by Gray Fox Sports. Premier sports photography right in your backyard. Visit grayfoxsports.net for more information on bookings, future events, and how to get involved. Of course, Gray Fox Sports run by our good friend Michael Taylor, a former RCSJ student. He's going to Bloomsburg University in Pennsylvania to, I believe it's the Hammer is the event in track and field. Tough call there as it's over to the volleyball line, now moving over into the corner. Jaden Austin is there. Luzerne made a lot of subs coming out of the timeout. It's John Mateo in. Blocking foul. Mateo looks like he got hit pretty decently there. 5 fouls against the Roadrunners, only one against Luzerne. Moving in now.
So yeah, it's going to be a 3-2 defense for RCSJ.
Three-pointer. Off the mark. Rebound by Lassiter. De Jesus almost had that one. Now it's back to Williams Bay. He might have been the intended target all along, and look out below. Misdirection up, down, and every way. Desir Williams Bay loops it up on a very nice layup that time, a very stylish one. He's got 13 points. 53-42, an 11-point lead for the Roadrunners, and you thought maybe at the beginning of the second half that it might slip away with how good Luzerne was playing at the early part. Now here's Williams Bay again. No. Off the mark that time. It's Patterson over on the near sideline. It's Mateo. Getting ready to check into the game will be Tyler Collins. Left wing, bounces out of the hands, and it's out of bounds. Luzerne unable to field it cleanly. And it's a turnover.
I mean, and it's not bad ball movement by Luzerne. We're just seeing little slip-ups like that where the ball's hitting off your hands, going out of bounds, things like that. That's keeping them from getting shots off And I talked about in the first half how the turnover differential between the two teams was going to be a big part. I mean, now we're kind of seeing that come into play, as it feels like RCSJ is just making Luzerne turn the ball over almost every possession, it feels like.
Cranmer got hit on his way up, took a hard fall on the floor, and he'll go to the line for 2 shots as Luzerne gets hit with their second foul. 53-42. It's Cranmer, who had a 3 from the top of the key earlier in this, well, I mean, earlier in the half is a broad statement, but just a couple of minutes ago, he's got 5 points. Now 6 as he makes that one. 54-42. Roadrunners easily with their biggest lead of the day. All 5 starters for the Roadrunners have 5+ points. Baker and Cranmer with 6. Zaire Green with 9. Lassiter with 12. Williams Bay with 13. But yeah, I got to see Aiden Cranmer play a decent amount. You know, I went to Audubon, not far at all from West Effort. They played each other a lot, and West Effort didn't have a lot of winning seasons, but Cranmer was a huge bright spot on that roster, and he's entering his 2nd year here with the Roadrunners. And you know, Nolan, you have some experience with Salem Community College. You know how much turnover is in JUCO. It is tenfold what it is in high school, because, or even in college, because high school you get a strict 4 years. College you get 4 years unless you get hurt or unless something else happens. Whatever it may be, there's so many different ways to play an extra year in college. That's a nice spot up there, but Luzerne can't get it, as that's going to be another one taken in by Ellis. Ellis now up to 8 points, but as I was saying, in your experience with Salem, as we've got to walk, you know, every year when you come into the office, there's a swarm of new players for every sport, and basically half or more of the roster is turned over.
Yeah, I mean, and you see it with Salem this year. I mean, I know
even though they're number 2 ranked,
they are number 2 ranked, but they only have, I believe, 2 or 3 returning sophomores from last year. So I mean, it's a big difference, and with a program like Salem, it doesn't impact the culture too much.
No,
because I mean, you have the guys that have watched from afar that are coming in, and they kind of get a feeling for the culture when they come in. Like, the coach brings them in, and they show the new guys around. They get accustomed to how it is there, and I mean, it's a big part. It's a big part of JUCO basketball.
That 3 was made by Sidney Maynard, Luzerne. I keep saying Del Tech because they have the similar colors to the Delaware Tech Athletics, but they wanted a double dribble that time on Desir Williams Bay, and I thought they might have had a point. I thought that was a double dribble, but it turned out refs didn't call it. They're going to wait for a sub. Wait. RCSJ had a late sub. I think they're just going to let them wait. Now we'll restart. 12:02 left in the second half. Back over into the corner. Ellis now over to Mateo. No look pass. Bounces out. They say he stepped out to the ref on the baseline. And coming in will be Zaire Green. He checks in for Hajir Davis.
And yet again, the ball slipping through the pass receiver's hands and going out of bounds. Another costly turnover for
Luzerne County 44, RCSJ 60. A 16-point lead. The largest lead by any team tonight, as Cranmer over to Lassiter, far corner. Moving in, nice spot up there. He's done that so many times tonight. Ace Lassiter, 14 points. And it makes it 62-44.
And it seems like that middle corner is his spot. I mean, you just give it down to Lassiter down there, and it's basically a guaranteed basket.
62-44. Roadrunners, despite this huge run, they led by 4 at the half. They're now up by 16. They are still in some foul trouble. Hajir Davis had to be checked out because he had his 4th foul of the game. And the Roadrunners in total with 6 fouls, and that's going to be their 7th, it looks like.
Yep.
Offensive foul. It's going to be against Cranmer?
Yep.
Yeah. Couldn't tell if that was Green who got called, but it is the 7th. And Luzerne, despite their deficit, will get the 1-and-1 bonus. Remember, for the folks at home, 7, 1-and-1, 10. Oh, never mind. Oh, you know what? Because it was an offensive foul, they don't.
Not a team foul.
Not a. Yeah. Now Del Tech I keep saying Del Tech. Luzerne County, very far away from Stanton, Delaware. We'll call a timeout. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. If you like those odds, you can book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road. The schedule for this week on DWB, tune in on Tuesday, November 18th for the first episode of the South Jersey Starting 9, a high school baseball podcast hosted by myself, Dan Wilkins, and David Cohen, a Rowan University student and a former Seneca baseball player. Then on Thursday, we'll be back home at RCSJ for a doubleheader between the Ocean County Vikings and the RCSJ-Gloucester Roadrunners. Women tip off at 5, men tip off at approximately 7 o'clock. Then on Saturday, we've got the WJYFL Youth Championships, the West Jersey Youth Football League Championship from Paul Six High School, game starting at 10 a.m. Championship games are going on right now, so we don't really know who's playing who, but we do know 4 games from the WJYFL on Saturday, November 22nd. And then we are actually so light on work that for next week, only have 2 events. Tuesday, November 25th, Thaddeus Stevens, the Bulldogs, come to play the Roadrunners, and a men's basketball standalone starting at 7 p.m. That one goes out of bounds. Luzerne looked like there was some miscommunication that time between Luzerne's players, showing their frustration either with themselves or with each other. And as we mentioned, Thanksgiving Day broadcast, it is Pittman and Clayton, 10:30 a.m. on November 27th. Before you know it, the holidays will be here, and we'll have some festive basketball on the way. Green bringing it up the floor for the Roadrunners. 7 fouls against the Roadrunners. Into the corner now. Here comes Lassiter, stepping back again, but this one just came up a little bit short that time. Here comes Luzerne. Now moving in. Right hand, Cranmer takes a fall. No whistle. Cranmer swipes at it while he's on the ground with his right hand. Scramble and a travel. No jump ball that time.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a sequence of events for sure. I mean, it's been a lot of back-and-forth basketball, a lot of turnovers in the past couple minutes. But
it's
I mean,
it's not been the best for either team.
No, I mean, and the Roadrunners, you're playing with.
Yeah, backcourt.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm a little bit surprised that it took until the Luzerne County bench reacted to it for the ref to make the call. I don't know if he just had to sit on it for a second or if he was influenced by it. I don't know, but just kind of an odd situation there. But a backcourt, not going to last for too long. It's a turnover. Cranmer picks it up. Cranmer over to Williams Bay. Cranmer moves inside, spots up. That's going to be a foul for the fall on Luzerne.
Yeah.
It'll get called against Johnson.
It looked like a little bit of a flop there from Johnson.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think that one was.
Cranmer drove in. Johnson tried to set, but, you know, his
feet definitely were not set. So the intent was there, just didn't get it. And it's 64-44. Aiden Cranmer at the line. It's only the second foul against Luzerne County as Cranmer finishes it off. Up to 9 points for the combo.
And now Luzerne, this is where you got to start taking those deep shots. I mean, you're down 21 with 10 minutes to play. And we saw earlier in the game with RCSJ, they came back from a 14-point deficit. Why can't Luzerne do the same thing? And we've talked about how good of a three-point shooting team they are. This is where you got to start utilizing that.
They bring it over to John Mateo. Bringing it coast to coast. Roadrunners double coverage and a travel. So that double coverage is hurting Luzerne. It's forced them into a couple of travels here in the second half, and it's definitely been an unusual sequence as Luzerne, again, cannot believe that the Roadrunners are up by this much
after being
down by 14. They have completely flipped the script tonight.
And they've looked really good. I mean, I haven't seen many flaws. There have been a couple turnover issues, and the second half it's been a lot of fouls. But, I mean, just like that, you just got to keep doing that. They've been shooting really well this game. They started out kind of ice cold, but that has turned completely. And they have flipped the table, and they're on a huge run.
That was Amara Sacco with a three-pointer. Cranmer and Sacco picked it up. Sacco, the product of Woodbury. And with 9:30 left in the half, They'll make a quick change. They'll bring in Glover back in. He was on a hot streak earlier. Chris Johnson subs out. Inbound from under the basket. Cranmer spots up, lets it fly. No good. Rebound by Shakai Richards. Well, if Luzerne County kept on this trail, I think Shakai Richards would have been a name that we would have considered for player of the game. But after a hot first 10 minutes, just really hasn't been the same. He's had 7 points, but all of them were when Luzerne was in the lead. And it was when they were in the lead by double-digit points.
And it looked like right there.
And Richards broke the streak, got 9 points.
Looked like right there the ref was ready to call foul. He brought his hand up to blow the whistle, then he brought it down, and no foul call for Luzerne.
7 fouls for the Roadrunners, 1 and 1 if another team foul is committed. They're already over the bonus, but the 7th foul was a personal foul. Ball got kicked up, it looked like. It'll be under the basket. Luzerne ball, it looks like. Little floater. Jaden Johnson bobbled. Over to Glover. He'll get fouled, and there's that bonus you were talking about. So with 8:38, remember how there were no bonuses in the first half? Well, that's changed now. So that will send them to the line.
And it's Brian Glover, who earlier in the game had a nice little stretch. I think he had 6 points in about a minute and a half. But since then, I mean, that was when Luzerne had the lead. So that tells you about this game, how long ago it was.
Yeah, it's funny how it is, but 8.5 minutes to play. Sacco over to Cranmer. Cranmer goes through the legs, falls, stays with it, fires the ball at the glass, and he's fouled. It's kind of crazy how he was able to follow through there.
I mean, that was a nice move to get down into the paint. And taking the contact, if he had made that, would have, I think this RCSJ bench would have gone crazy.
I agree with you there. First shot
off the front of the rim.
Didn't get it that time.
Which, as a unit, RCSJ is shooting 67.7% from the free throw line. And it
So
kind of feels like
two-thirds.
they've shot about the same in this game.
Yeah, it feels like they've been hit or miss at sometimes, but I mean, the Roadrunners, I don't think personally are as bad as a team as a 1-3 record would make you think.
They've had a tough schedule.
Just looking at the 4 teams that are undefeated in NJCAA Region 19 so far, you've got Camden, which RCSJ took to overtime and lost by 10, 86-76. That ball gets away. That'll be RCSJ ball. But then your team, Salem, Union 3-0, Northampton 4-0. 4 teams still remain undefeated. And, you know, when you look at the men's basketball slate, there's a lot of teams that really could be wild cards for those last couple of playoff spots. And the Roadrunners winning today versus a Luzerne team who did okay last year. Not the greatest, not the worst. Roadrunners themselves, they were just on the outside looking in, 11-17, missing the playoffs. They've got a chance to really come around here in November with some big conference games.
Very surprising that John Mateo did not take that three-pointer. I mean,
yeah, he was open.
He was open. And especially, like I said, down 21, this is where you have to start taking those shots. Even if there are 8 minutes left, you can't count yourself out. I mean,
absolutely.
We saw earlier in the game down 7, or what was it, 14?
14 was the biggest lead. That
17-3. And, I mean, now they're down 21. That's a huge swing. It's a 35-point swing. So he gets the free throw to go.
Well, if you remember, I mean, the run that they had, that's what sparked the Roadrunners to go into that full court press or half court press defense that they have been sticking with almost all night. So, I mean, the way that it is right now is just the Roadrunners needed that spark, and they turned that spark into a blazing fire here in this first half and second half. Pretty much everything except the first 10 minutes has been great basketball. Says he went out of bounds.
Yeah, his foot was on the line right there.
That's what
Johnson,
it looks like.
I mean, that was a good
effort.
read. Good
yeah.
read. jumped in front of it. And that kind of feels like the way the game has gone for Luzerne. They've had a lot of opportunities, and, I mean, either the ball slipped out of their hands on open passes to the corner. They've gone into the layup, 3-on-1 layups that they just haven't converted. Just stuff like that. That's kind of what's cost them their lead in this game, and now they're down 19 with 7.5 minutes left.
Desir Williams Bay over towards the corner. Moving in, a clean lane for Kasir Baker. He gets that one to fall. He's got 8 points. I mean, it's a great thing. When we had our women's basketball game on Thursday versus Northampton, here comes a 3. That's good. And Luzerne will call a full timeout. So Luzerne getting at least something to go. They need something to get themselves in a groove. 7:08 left in the second half, as that 3 was good by Brian Glover. He's up to 8 points. We'll take a quick break. Welcome back here from Rowan College of South Jersey at Gloucester. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Nolan Dowell on the call tonight. From the Luzerne County folks that we did hear from, we appreciate you watching tonight. This has been a good game, even though the Roadrunners have started to run away with this one. It certainly was not what I was expecting going into the halftime break. I mean, if you asked me at the 10-minute break what we were going to have, I'm not exactly sure. I think I would have said Luzerne would have won this game. I think even if you asked me at halftime what would have happened, I would have said, not sure, but it would be close. But right now, Roadrunners up by 18 points with Williams Bay under the opposing basket. Zaire Green takes it. 53 for Luzerne, 71 for the Roadrunners of RCSJ. It was a 3-point contest last year that separated these two teams, with the Roadrunners coming out on top as that one is fired off the glass. Second chance, Maynard puts it down. Sydney Maynard up to 8 points off the bench.
And a good job by Kasir Baker to not lose possession of the ball there. I mean, for one of the bigger players on RCSJ, to be able to keep control like that when you get the ball and you're scrambling to get into the paint, I mean, that's a good job there to not lose it and give up possession.
Foul and 1. It's the 10th, so it'll be a double bonus here.
What was an and 1?
Yeah, sorry. Well, it is their 10th foul, so
yes.
anything after that will be. And it'll be taken by Richards, who has 11 points. Luzerne, two players over 10 points. Johnson with 12, Richards with 11. For the Roadrunners, 14 apiece for Williams Bay and Lassiter, and 10 for Hajir Davis, 10 points off the bench. 73-56. This one fired down the floor. Look at Aiden Cranmer wide open. Right side, he's fouled. They found a gaping hole on the other side of the floor, and Aiden Cranmer was basically taking a Hail Mary pass like he was John Emmel's wide receiver. But it'll be the 5th foul against the Luzerne County Trailblazers, and it sends Cranmer to the stripe.
Yeah, I mean, and Luzerne's now trying to full court press because you're trying to get back into this game. Right there, it resulted in a deep shot down the court and a foul for RCSJ.
Yeah, that's the one thing, is that the Roadrunners enacted the full court press for the sake of getting back into this game.
And it worked for them.
And it worked. Now they've completely flipped the tables to the point where Luzerne is putting on the full court press so that they can get back into the game. So it really is a full circle moment for RCSJ and how they've played in this game. Moving out to the right side, it's Mateo moving in. Over towards center court, spinning around. Williams Bay swipes from behind, and he'll get hit with a foul. I think that's his second of the night. And it will send Mateo to the line for 2. So the Roadrunners definitely, with 6 minutes left, and if Luzerne County is going to do a full court press, there could be more fouls on the way. First shot good by Mateo. RCSJ is going to call a timeout in the middle of the free throw, 75-57. We'll stay here. It'll be a 30-second. Your thoughts so far on this run by the Roadrunners, getting up by this much, this late?
I mean, it's been a fantastic, I want to say 30 minutes of basketball for RCSJ. The first 10 minutes, we can forget about that.
Exactly.
I mean, they've put up so many good possessions of offense, and really, I'd like to point out their defense. It has been so good, and they've forced Luzerne to make a lot of mistakes on offense, which has resulted in turnover points.
Right.
And I'm not saying RCSJ has had the best game offensively, because they've also made their fair share of mistakes, but it's their defense that has stopped Luzerne from capitalizing when they do turn it over. So it's just been a fantastic 30 minutes of basketball for RCSJ. Well, going to be 30. We still got to get
once
through.
The clock hits 0, we'll get to that. But that shot is good by Mateo. He's 2 for 2. Mateo with 4 points on the night. Williams Bay takes it, stops.
And this is where you can kind of milk out your offensive possessions.
Exactly.
Don't just fire up shots. Wait until you get a good shot. That ball movement from RCSJ is going to be very important. As there's a good shot.
That was drained from the semicircle by Green. He's up to 11, and it's a 20-point game, 77-57. Trailblazers come right back. Patterson draws the foul and 1, and he'll go to the charity stripe as the foul will be charged. Let's see who this foul is going to be against. It will be, I think that was, didn't see, nothing popped up on the scoreboard. It's going to be Green.
His third.
No good that time. And here comes another chuck down the floor, hard hit. Cranmer getting together with Richards. Both able to get up, but no whistles. We stay moving. Now moving inside. Got a wide open man in the corner. Cranmer wasn't even near him. Did you see that in the far corner? I mean, he was wide open, and Luzerne, they got the basket, but they are extremely lucky.
Yeah. I mean, granted, a corner 3 isn't 100%, and a layup most of the time is. So, good decision. But
it's a good decision, but, man, the Roadrunners are lucky they didn't see that one or that they didn't go for it.
Yeah.
Cranmer guarded heavily by Shakir Richards.
7 on the shot clock.
Yeah, they're running out of time. 5. Green looks up at the scoreboard. Pump fakes, brings it down. He's going to pull it up.
Blocked.
No, we got blocked, and that's going to be the shot clock violation.
I haven't liked the last 2 possessions from the Roadrunners.
No,
I mean,
it feels
you
like
saw the one
slipping away.
Like I was saying, you don't have to get the shot off. So they took that full court heave to Cranmer, and it resulted in a turnover. And then that one right there, just you have to know what the shot clock is at, especially in college where there is a shot clock, and it's important that every possession relies on that. I mean, you can take 25 seconds of possession, but you have to get the shot off before it hits 0.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good point. The shot clock is something that some of these kids, especially in New Jersey, are not used to. That one is going to be a foul on, going to be Patterson. Gets hit with a block. Now, the thing is, if you're a Luzerne County fan, what's interesting is that Pennsylvania and New Jersey do not have high school basketball shot clocks. New Jersey has never had one, and I think Pennsylvania is like the closest to getting there. They're just not there yet. But the thing is that for these freshman players, might be their first time ever in an organized environment working and playing with a shot clock. I don't know. I don't dip too much into travel ball or AAU. I don't know how that works, and I don't know how shot clock rules are used there. As Davis takes a hard hit, 2 to shoot. He doesn't see the shot clock. He got it off in time.
And they're going to mark it.
Luzerne says, well, now there's confusion here.
Refs called a good basket.
They say that it's good. Luzerne says no. Luzerne is trying to get an explanation. just off the eye test, I didn't think it was good, but Luzerne just swiping at the ref. We're going to get a tech here. Yeah, he's kind of swiping, and he might get a double tech here. I mean, he is hot.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't really blame him. I don't think that was good. I think that was late.
I'd have to disagree. I think with what I saw, I think he got it off in time. I mean, and any chance at a comeback with that technical foul kind of, that kind of really hurts.
It takes the wind out of everybody's sails, and Ron Struthers.
But I will say that the call of no shot clock violation might also have, ruined any comeback chances, because now you give up 2 points instead of getting the ball with no extra points added on.
This would extend the lead to 19, 81-62. So Green's basket was good, and then both technical shots by Lassiter were good. 16 points for the sophomore guard.
And it's RCSJ possession because it was a technical foul.
Right.
So this is like, if they convert.
It's a triple whammy.
I mean,
basket, tech, and possession.
And 2 free throws, yeah. So, triple whammy.
So let's see who brings this one in. Oh, no, Luzerne is going to have possession here.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
4:19 left to play. They're going to let this one roll.
It's a smart thing to do.
Yeah. John Morant used to do that a lot, or he does do that a lot with the Grizzlies. John Mateo over at center court, over to the right side for Collins, or check that for Ellis. Shots off the mark. But yeah, that technical foul, you give up 4 points there. 2 of them are responsible for the coach Struthers. We've got jump ball. Possession is going to go in the favor of the Trailblazers.
And listen, the Trailblazers, I think I've already said it a couple times, but you got to start putting shots up.
Just chuck something up.
Like, I wouldn't say take the first shot you get.
Right.
But if you have any chance of like an open shot, especially with a matchup like that where you have a smaller defender.
He hits it though. You were just talking about it. They heed your warning. Amari Ellis, 11 points now. 3 Luzerne starters with 11 apiece. Richards, Ellis, and Patterson. The Roadrunners with a quick offense there, and Green gets that one up. We've seen a wide variety of scoring here from the starters of both teams. RCSJ pretty even. Williams Bay 14, Green 15, Lassiter 16. Moving in to the basket, no good. Baker got the ball, take it away. Hajir Davis is there. But yeah, the Roadrunners now just need to hang on to the ball. That's the thing here. They're driving to the basket. I don't think that they should attempt anything unless there's five or less to shoot.
I don't mind the drive and kick, though. It might open up a 3, which you don't need right now.
No, you don't need anything.
You're up 7. Right, you're up 18 points, and that's a good shot because the shot clock is winding down, and an almost great rebound.
Yeah, that was Green on the shot from inside the semicircle on
Williams
the left.
Bay is down. Looks like he might have got a cramp in his leg.
Yeah.
Something. Probably see a sub.
At least Spalding coming out, the RCSJ athletic trainer.
They're going to send Cranmer in.
Yeah, I think Cranmer originally was going to be out because the game had been almost out of hand at this point, but because Williams Bay is going to have to come out.
This is where you put in all your backups.
You're
exactly. Up 18, 2:48 left. You don't want something like Jaden Daniels to happen where your arm gets messed up or you get hurt, especially one of your better players. And Williams Bay's had a great game today.
Williams Bay getting up under his own power, and he might walk to the trainer's room with this game being pretty much out of hand. He gets a nice ovation. But we have seen some players that have not gotten the floor tonight. Taquan Hodges. Actually, there's only been 2 players on this RCSJ-Gloucester roster, which is 12 players deep, that have not played. Taquan Hodges and Sean Mills are the only ones that have not taken the floor at all tonight. So DeJesus not coming in. Roadrunners keep most of their starters. Cranmer checking in with Williams Bay going to the trainer's office. It will be Cranmer, Davis, Baker, Lassiter, and Green. So 4 of 5 starters on the floor. Luzerne will bring up Mateo. They got the music playing up in the gym here.
Yeah.
They got it there. Corner three, air ball. And Kremer was there to take the reception and the rebound easily. And Luzerne not really guarding all that hard.
I think they're kind of waving the white flag. They're just going to.
Shots waved off. Offensive foul against Hajir Davis. Yeah, some of these refs that we see tonight, and now Amara Sacco checks in. Yeah, some of these refs, when we start high school basketball, we might see some of these same refs. You said you mentioned before we went on the air, one of these refs you saw tonight was the same you saw at Salem. Okay, two of them.
2 of the 3 from the crew.
But yeah, I mean, these refs need something because there's a full month before high school basketball starts. In fact, we're actually 1 month exactly from opening night, December the 15th. 83-67. Gloucester with a good run tonight. They're going to say, I think Ron Struthers just kind of letting himself go here. I mean, I can't blame him. I think there's been some calls that haven't been perfect.
Agreed.
But I think the white flag was waved the moment that technical was flown, because at that point he's just like, yeah, I'm not dealing with these refs. It is what it is. We're just going to go home. And the problem is for Luzerne, like we said in the open, they're 111 miles away from RCSJ. If you put in Luzerne, Pennsylvania, it's just beneath Scranton in PA. So
this is not going to be.
It's not going to be a fun bus ride home.
No, it will not.
2 hours and 30 minutes to Luzerne. As here comes a three. Luzerne chucking it up. Another air ball. Close to it was Kobe Jacobs, one of the newer subs in the game, number 21.
And you talk about the bus ride. Well, Luzerne gets to play against Sussex in their next game.
So they're going to be traveling a lot of back roads in North Jersey to get to Sussex. And the Roadrunners.
November 18th.
RCSJ, their next game. Well, the women have off until next Thursday, as here comes Sacco for three. Surprised they're chucking up threes with a minute and a half, but just, I guess, trying to get some of the new guys some footwork. Kobe Jacobs, corner three, off the mark.
Luzerne's doing the same thing. I mean, they're just
kind of back
the
and
players
forth
want to
here.
score. I mean, makes sense.
JUCO basketball is a lot more about every man for himself.
Especially with the players that don't get to play very often. I mean, this is where you get to let your name be known.
Roadrunners would improve to 2 and 3. They played back-to-back games against undefeated teams. 86-76 loss to Camden County, 88-66 22-point loss to UCNJ. They are also off until Thursday when they play Ocean County, and then they play winless Harrisburg, and Luzerne is going to call a timeout. They're just going to resettle everything. 47 seconds remaining as Baker had the basket. All 5 starters for Gloucester are over 10 points. We'll take a quick break with 47 seconds left. Kobe Jacobs inbounds from the scorer's table, 46 seconds remaining in this ball game. Roadrunners, hold on. They say that he stepped out of bounds. Ace Lassiter was in on that one. Luzerne County, in their first Region 19 game of the year, would fall to 1-2.
0-1 in the conference.
0-1 in the conference. I mean, they played SUNY Broome in their first game of the season. It's now Kobe Jacobs. Three-pointer, no good. 20 seconds on the board, and Jerome Clough gonna come in, bite off more than he could chew. But Luzerne 1-2, 0-1 in the conference. They lost to SUNY Broome 76-65. They beat Williamson College of the Trades, which RCSJ played last year in their Roadrunner Classic in early December over in PA. Williamson College, one of the few JUCOs around here to have a football team. They won that game 80-73. They play Sussex on the road, and then they are home to Misericordia's JV, which is at NCAA Division III on Thursday, November 20th. Those JV games do not count towards your stats or your, it's more or less an exhibition. Sacco has it, and a foul. There were 4 seconds separating the two clocks. The foul is going to be against Luzerne's number 30.
And that'll...
It's going to be against Alamazoa.
I thought it was going to reset the shot clock, but I forgot that is when it hits a certain number. I think it's about 15 seconds. It'll reset it to 15.
27.7 on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock. We'll have 2 shots here from Sacco. Makes his first. 8 fouls for Luzerne. Second shot is good. Sacco with 5 points. 30 seconds, shot clock is gone. Luzerne will try to get one more possession before the Roadrunners hold this one out to win this one. A game that was very stressful at the beginning. Alamazoa comes in, and he gets the layup. 87-70, and it looks like that could be the last basket of the night. Luzerne trying to get something here. Hebes de Jesus going in. They're not letting up.
Just hold it.
Just hold the ball. Now it's to Maynard. He's backpedaling, and the RCSJ Roadrunners are going to win this one 87-70. A 17-point win, and how about that for some extra poetry? As the Roadrunners were down by 14 and ended up taking the lead at halftime, and it just really never ended. It was a huge run for RCSJ, and it ended up ending in a 17-point win. What a fantastic win for RCSJ to get back in the win column.
Yeah, I mean, if you do the math, it's an 84-53 run RCSJ went on from the time they were down 17-3 earlier in this game to the end of it. And, I mean, it was just a great game all around. I really just want to harp on the defense from RCSJ in this game. They really played well. I mean, they forced a lot of turnovers. There were a lot of mistakes from Luzerne, but it was a great game from the Roadrunners.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we should highlight tonight for RCSJ is how well they were able to come back through adversity and through trouble as we turn everything back around here. Again, I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Nolan Dowell tonight. This was a game that it didn't look great to start. It really didn't. It looked abysmal to start. 17-3. I'm thinking we're going to be here for a long night, but instead the Roadrunners found their groove, and they made it a 4-point game at half. I think my player of the game goes to Ace Lassiter. I think that he was a driving force on both sides of the ball, was able to pick up a handful of steals, was able to get 16 points on the night, and was just really doing everything that he could to put his team first. And that's one thing that you don't see all the time in JUCO men's basketball is you see a player like Lassiter come in and be the guy that everybody can rely on.
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job today. I think I'm going to have to give my player of the game, though, to Kasir Baker, who in the paint was a force on defense. He had a lot of huge plays that prevented Luzerne from getting easy points, and he didn't do much on the offensive side, but he had a couple nice baskets, got into a little bit of foul trouble around the start of the second half, but all around, he was a big reason as to why Luzerne wasn't able to get much going on offense. When they had the lead, he was still in there. He was playing hard the whole game. And, yeah, I mean, he helped RCSJ big time.
Some positives for Luzerne. I think one of the things that they did well tonight, they shot pretty well from 3. It tapered off towards the second half, but remember, they were 7th in Region 19 going into this game and behind some really good teams. They were behind Camden. They were behind Union. Some really good teams from beyond the arc, and they found a way to get themselves in those prime positions. But RCSJ, when they were down, they found a way to take that ability away from them, and that's one thing that they struggled with. I think Luzerne, they didn't get into a lot of foul trouble in the first half. They got into a decent amount in the second half, but even then, it wasn't all that bad. Even with the Roadrunners cruising to the lead and to a big lead, a double-digit lead, Luzerne wasn't the one committing the fouls. The Roadrunners were. They had the 1-and-1 bonus at the 8-minute mark, and then they had the double bonus by the 6-minute mark. So it really just was it was a matter of Luzerne coming in. They had a great start, but they used up all of their gas at that time.
Yeah, I think my big thing with Luzerne was the decision-making. I don't think was particularly the best, and the shot selection. I think they had a lot of shots that weren't good shots, but they also missed out on a lot of good shots.
Right.
Like I feel like they they took shots that, I mean, they maybe could have had that one extra pass to get to an open guy, and sometimes that open guy decided to not shoot it and dribble in, take a bad shot.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the end of the day, Luzerne is going to get on that bus quickly. They've got a 2.5-hour trip back to Scranton, Pennsylvania, 112 miles away for them to think about this 87-70. Not all that high scoring in the first half. It was 38-34, ends with a very high scoring second half with the Roadrunners really lighting it up from 3 points. Aiden Cranmer didn't have a great first half. He was able to rebound, get himself back in front, and he ends today all 5 starters with the Roadrunners with 10-plus points. Williams Bay, or rather Lassiter, led the way with 16 points. Williams Bay with 14. Your final thoughts on tonight?
Great win from RCSJ. This is what they needed. I mean, you've had 4
Great
of your
way to get
5
back
games.
in the win column.
Yeah. 4 of your 5 games have been at home, and this was a big one. I mean, you get to 2-3 instead of 1-4, which is, I mean, it doesn't seem like a huge difference, but it kind of is.
And in JUCO, where all teams that are over 500 make the playoffs, every win matters. And what I'll say as well, 4 or 5 games at home, the 5th game that was on the road is at Camden, 15 minutes away. They have not had to have a long bus trip yet this year.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the opposite for Luzerne. I mean, they've played all 3 of their games have been on the road. Their 4th one's about to be on the road. So, I mean, I'm sure once they get at home, they'll finally settle in. And they haven't played bad this season. I mean, they're 1-1, now 1-2. So you just got to move forward from here. Don't take this loss as like, oh, we blew this and it's going to be you can't have that mindset. You gotta get back in it. You got a game on Tuesday, I think, and get back into it. Get back in the win column.
That'll be all for us tonight on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. From our entire crew, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Carson Rosso, my color commentator from Rowan University, Nolan Dowell. I'm Dan Wilkins. We will see you for RCSJ on Thursday versus Ocean County. And in general, stay tuned for Tuesday. It's the first episode of the South Jersey Starting 9 High School Baseball Podcast for South Jersey, hosted by myself and David Cohen. We'll be going live at 8 o'clock on Tuesday night. Rowan College beats Luzerne County by a final score of 87-70. Have a good one, folks.